Hi everyone, it's AJ. It is Tuesday and it is time for some Cricut tips. And today we are talking decorations. Yay! With the holidays right around the corner, the Cricut is a fabulous little tool to get you in the holiday spirit, get your house looking fabulous for the upcoming holidays. But it's also a great tool to use year-round for some of your household decor. But today we're going to talk about some of the fun things that you can do very simply with the Cricut. So one of the things that you will be able to pick up in the vestibule, if you so desire, is our pre-cut reindeer. And these are super fun. I just put these on a little wooden, these are actually, this one is a skewer like you use out on the barbecue, and just hot glued that on there and stuck it down into a little Goodwill vase. And I got a nice little holiday centerpiece going on there. These little picks, these reindeer, are also fun because you can put them in a little piece of clay or a little piece of craft foam, wrap a little fabric around the bottom, and you can put them going up your stairs or in front of your fireplace. Super fun, very versatile. So these pre-cut reindeer, if you choose to do reindeer, will be available in the vestibule. Remember, all of our supplies for, well, not all the supplies, but some of the supplies. I'd love to be able to give you a vase and all that stuff, but I can't do it. I'm on a tight budget, man. But they will be available in the vestibule. Please check our hours because our hours are kind of varying right now with everything going on. But you can check out our hours on our Facebook page and on our website. Make sure that we're there. But one of the things that you'll be able to do is pick up a couple of these fun little reindeer and be creative. And you guys are always so creative. I know that you're going to come up with way better ideas than I've got here. So one of the other ones that I have is if you choose to do a turkey, you're going to get some turkey, which is fun. And again, this one's put together a little wood dowel that the Dollar Tree has those now. How exciting is that? You get a nice little bag of them. I think there was maybe a dozen in there for $1, and they're nice dowels. They're super cool. So again, you can do this with the turkey. I've kind of made my own little homemade edible arrangement. I just took an old tin, and again, this was Cricut vinyl, not included in the project this time. That's for another day. But the other thing that will be included with your turkey project are these little fun flowers. And I'm going to pick a flower and try not to eat it. But these are just cut on the Cricut, and you'll have a few of those if you choose the turkey pack. Remember, try just to choose one because we want enough for everybody. But you just simply, and I'll show these when we get to the Cricut, there's just a little flower with a hole cut in it. It slides right up on the lollipops. If you've ever priced an edible arrangement, holy cow, those things are expensive, and that's before you even, think about shipping it or something. So you can throw this together for a couple bucks and just take it to somebody. Leave it on their doorstep, and happy Thanksgiving. So again, you'll get the turkey and some pre-cut flowers if you choose that one. Or another fun little piece here is I just took a piece of some wood that we had from another project here at the library. I've got some little roofing metal. You can buy a whole package of these little squares at the hardware store. They're not very expensive. In fact, this isn't even a whole square. I actually cut this. I guess it's more of a rectangle that I cut. Again, this is just Cricut vinyl, and this is wallpaper. I just threw that together. Now we have this fun, festive little sign. So if you choose trees, there are some trees available for you that you can do that. Lots of opportunities to put some things together. Very simple to do. And the material really is very easy. Now remember, you don't have to have a Cricut to do this project because I've provided the Cricut cut stuff for you, but the library also has a Cricut for you to use. When we get back to normal operating hours, all you have to do is give the library a call, make an appointment, and feel free to use our Cricut. If you've never used it before though, when you make your appointment, let somebody know so that one of our staff members can kind of guide you through the process. But Cricut is really fun, really super easy to use once you figure out how to use it, which isn't hard. I figured it out. Anybody can figure it out. And then the possibilities are endless, right? So we're going to move on over to the Cricut. I'm going to show you the exact images that I used. I'm going to give you a couple of fun tips because that's part of what this video is about, is to give you some good Cricut tips in case you got a Cricut at home, and if you do, oh, this is the season for it, isn't it? So let's head on over to the Cricut and get started. So here we are at the Design Space, which is your online design studio to make your projects. Anytime that I do a Cricut project, I like to save it right down here so that if you come into the library to use the library's Cricut and you wanted to duplicate a project you saw from a video, you would be able to easily find the images that I used. And you can see here that we have our fun and festive reindeer, our turkeys, and our flowers. And an example of this might be that the reindeer that you find in the vestibule might not be as large as what you would like to put in front of your fireplace or on your stairs if you were going to do the weighted pick ones. And you might want to make it a little bigger so you could come in, you could get this exact reindeer, customize it, and be able to make a design. And I'm actually going to show you how to customize your design. So we are going to choose the turkeys. I'm going to choose our fun and festive turkeys, and when we click on those turkeys, it gives us the choice to either make it, which means they will make it as is, or we can customize it. And so we're going to go ahead and customize it. And I don't know why it's telling me that, but I'm just going to replace whatever project I have there. So here are my turkeys. Here they are, my fun little fabulous Thanksgiving turkeys. And if I wanted to, again, make them bigger, add a little personalization to it, I can do that at this time, and it will let me save it as a new project, and the old project that's already in there will remain in its original form, which is nice. So let's say that I wanted to put something on the turkey. Maybe I wanted to cut a text into that turkey like thankful or blessed. One of the options that I would have would be to type that in and I could cut that into the turkey, but one of the really cool things is when you go up here to the fonts and you begin to look at your fonts, you can see that it talks about multi-layer cutting, which means it's going to have more than one layer to it sometimes. And there is also writing. Not all fonts are writing fonts, but the fonts that are listed as writing, you can actually put the writing tool of your Cricut into the slot and it will print out or write the letters for you. So let's go ahead and we'll pick a child's year. Does that look, oh, this down here, this looks like, let's go ahead and pick this one. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's a little thin, it's a little scrawny, but so if I were to take this, thankful, in this writing font, and you can see up here it gives you the choices, you'll know, again, whether it's cut, draw, score, but you know, you get the idea. Draw is a writing font. And I'm just going to, again, adjust the size, and I'm going to tilt it a little bit. And so when I take this to the mat, it will instruct me to load the pen as well as, you know, what blade I need. And this will write thankful right on my turkey. And what's really fun about this is I could type my dog's name in here. We'll put Farkas's name in there. The font's kind of weird. And again, because it is a writing font, when I take this to the mat, it will actually then write on this turkey that I'm thankful for Farkas, and when I glue the two of them together, it'll be a two-sided thing with different things written on it. So it's a wonderful way to personalize a gift, especially if you're doing one of the edible arrangement type of things that makes a nice little holiday gift or just a nice pick-me-up this time of year. You can actually personalize it, which makes it super fun and that much more of an awesome gift. You can also have the option of cutting things in there. So this one was only a writing font if I were to go. But let's say that you didn't want to do a writing font. One of the other things that you get into with cutting a text or choosing a text is number one, choosing, because there are so many fonts to select from, but also if you choose like a cursive, you go through the challenge of trying to then navigate them so that they look good and they stay close together. So one of the cool things about images is that when we think of images, we kind of think of pictures or designs. I can also type specific words in here, like thankful. If I could spell correctly, that'd be great. Or blessed, or if I wanted to do like a live, laugh, love. And our library will actually show us all of the pre-printed, ready to cut thankfuls, which is super cool. The only thing that you'll want to be careful of is that when you get to your cutting mat to work with it, is that you're sure that it is a cut and not a print, because that will make a difference. Like I got really excited. I really liked the font in this one, and I will show you when we get there. And let's go ahead and we're going to pick this. This one's wider. Let's pick this one. So those are the two. I've chosen those. So I'm going to insert my images. It will take me back to my canvas. I'm going to move this guy around. So when we look at this pretty and fancy little swirly thankful, you can see that it is a cut print image, which means whatever paper we were going to use to cut our turkey and put our thankful on, we would put that into our printer first. It would print it on there, and then when we got it to the turkey, it would cut it out. So we will not be using that one because we're not going to print today. Print and cut is a cool thing, and I will show you that. That'll be one of our spring projects. So my thankful, I'm going to just mess around with this a little bit. I'm going to give him a little bit of a tilt, and I'm going to make him a little bigger so that he kind of just drops right down in there into my turkey. Now you could just cut this out in its own little piece of cardstock or whatever material you're using, and then glue it onto the turkey, and if you duplicate it, then it would be on both sides. Or you could go ahead and cut this into the side of the turkey, and it would just, show through. You could even put another different color paper kind of behind that, and then you'd have a multicolored look. But you're able to also cut things into your other images, but also remember that images are not limited to just pictures. They can also be words. And speaking of different materials, that's where you can get really creative with this, is the kind of material that you're going to cut. The Christmas trees that are available to you in the vestibule are actually wallpaper. So if you were a fan of the look of wallpaper, but not necessarily the idea of having it on your walls and having to remove it, is the big issue of why I don't have wallpaper in my house other than for crafting. Wallpaper makes an excellent, if it's a nice heavy paper, it works very nicely. Just use either hot glue or Mod Podge on both sides of whatever you're attaching it to. But that works as a really cool medium. One of the other things that is a really fun and environmentally friendly sort of project is some recycling. I always get beautiful Christmas cards at Christmas time, and I never want to throw them away. And that is a great item to go ahead and cut new images, whether you're going to put those into maybe a framed piece of art or a little holiday pick, as I like to call them, like the turkeys and the reindeer are, or you can convert them into gift tags. And what's really super cool about these is you can choose a fun and fabulous shaped gift tag here, and even write or cut somebody's name into the gift tag to make a really personalized piece of art. The only thing that you do need to be cautious of with the materials that you put in the Cricut is the thickness of it. And I believe the thickness is 2 millimeters or less. Look that up because they are specific to machine, and I don't remember right off the top of my head. And also when you go to make it, it will ask you to select your material. This one's not going to ask me because I don't have the machine hooked up right now. But when it asks you for your material, you can select custom, and it will give you a multitude of choices. So if you are working with vinyl, but it is the metallic vinyl that is actually heavier than the regular vinyl, and when you go into your custom cut, it gives you that choice of materials. And if you have anything that is really thick or really difficult to cut, I have cut craft foam. I will actually choose veneer to cut it because then it's a multi-cut and it cuts all the way through. So not only can you be extremely creative with the images that you choose or the font that you choose, but you can also customize it with words and really get creative with the materials that you use and, you know, be environmentally conscious at the same time, which how cool is that, right? Now, as we head over to the cut mat to now cut our project, I'm going to cut some of the reindeer here. You can see there's some masking tape towards the edge of my cut mat. And the reason for that is that I'm starting to lose the stickiness on the mat, but as you well know, Cricut mats are expensive. There's a couple different ways to extend their life, and one of the ways is to run tape around the corners or the edges where things aren't sticking to kind of hold that paper down so that you get a nice clean cut and that your paper doesn't pull up and rip while the machine is cutting. And you want to make sure that if your mat is not sticky, that you do take some sort of measure to make sure that your paper is sticking. Otherwise it'll come loose, it will slide up into the blade and not get a clean cut. You won't get the image cut the way you want it, and it'll tear your paper and it'll end up a big mess. One of the other things that you can do is take a glue stick and simply run it across your mat before you put your paper down, and that will actually help the paper to stick but will not be permanent and doesn't really harm the blade or any part of the Cricut machine by running a glue stick over that final Cricut mat. So those are just a couple tips to extend the life of those expensive mats. And of course, always make sure that you place the plastic cover back over your mat when you're finished with it, and that you clean your mat with your scraper before you put it away. And then once we pull it up, you can see that there are reindeer, even though the paper that I had was a little bit different as far as the images on it than what we end up with. But that's one of the cool things about taking materials and kind of using them in a different manner. Remember that supplies will be available. You can get a little reindeer, or, oops, almost threw that on the floor. You can get our fun turkey with a few flowers, or our festive little pine trees in the vestibule of the library during our open hours. Just make sure that you're checking our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, or just, hey, give us a call, see if we're hanging out. And we'll be sure to make sure that you get this fun stuff to do your own personal fun decor for the holidays or just every day. But make sure that you send me a picture. I want to see how creative, how crafty did you get. I love seeing your guys' stuff because you're so talented and you're so creative, and everybody else enjoys it too. It's so much fun. So let me know how you did. You know, find those little things you already got hanging around the house. Even though this isn't a trash to treasure video, it's kind of a fusion video. Cricut meets trash to treasure. See what you got laying around and come up with something cool to get you in the holiday spirit. And make sure that you like our Facebook page, that you're checking out our YouTube channel, and that you're following us, and share it so that your friends can become our friends. Because hey, who doesn't want more friends? I know we do. So thanks for joining us. Make sure that you come and get your fun festive holiday stuff, and we will see you real soon.